demo, we're going to be looking at using atmospheric perspective. So as we've just looked at, atmospheric perspective is where you use colour and tone and focus, like blurriness and size of objects to create perspective. So we've got this nice photograph of some trees. That's from photograms on Instagram. You want to have a look more interesting photographs on Instagram. And we're going to use that as inspiration for this work on perspective. So we've got a mixture on our palette. If you still have that mixture where we mixed vermilion with Prussian blue earlier. We're going to go back into that and have it sort of fairly thick but quite watery on a number 12 large round brush. I'm going to start off by putting in the tree trunks. And so in terms of the size of the perspective, the ones that are closer are going to be, we'll paint them bigger because then they get smaller and smaller as they move away. So that's one type of perspective sizing of things. And also we'll do some lifting out as they go further away. So make sure you've got your cloth handy, your cloth or your tissue or whatever you use for lifting out paint off the surface of the paper. So just taking lots of paint on your brush, we'll start off with just putting in some very bold strokes. So we're just doing like big sweeping movements with the brush to get some branches in. And so as the trees kind of go up into the branches, you're kind of I'm using a motion where I'm sort of twisting, I'm twirling and twisting the brush, twisting and turning it. And that's how you can kind of create kind of nice sort of twirly branch shapes happening. And then the trick is, like, because this is like an avenue of trees, as we get nearer, or further away, I should say, you want to start putting more water in your paint so that the tree trunks start to get paler, and also making them smaller so they start to appear to recede. Okay. So then you might want to do a bit of lifting out, or you might, actually I'm quite pleased, I might lift out a little bit along here. So lifting out is where you're putting pressure, pressing quite hard with your cloth or tissue or kitchen paper or whatever you're using. It creates nice sort of textures and a little bit of blurriness. So this avenue of trees is kind of receding into the distance. You can see, I'm just using this as inspiration, so I'm not doing it exactly the same as the photo, a slightly different size and shape. And also I've got more branches happening in the top
don't know on the photo there. So a nice way of creating texture on the trees is by lifting out. And it also then can help to sort of make them paler as they disappear further into the distance. Okay. And now we have the floor of this forest or avenue of trees is mirroring the colour in the canopy, because it's all this lovely autumnal kind of red that's happening. So we're going to create the perspective of it really easily, she says, by just doing what's called a graded wash. Now, some of you have done graded wash with me before, and a graded wash is where you start off with lots and lots of pigment, and then you add water as you move it up the page, and that creates what's called a graded wash. I'm going to swap brushes now, and I'm going to get what's called a flat brush, which is this shape. So what I'm going to do is do this graded wash in this pathway, this kind of area here that's leading up to the horizon, and I'm going to do it in vermilion. So earlier we put some vermilion down. You can use any kind of orange color that you like. Cadmium red would also work well. So any kind of red or orange that you like. And so putting it down almost direct from the tube, right? First, along here. And I'm just going to wash the brush. And I'm just going to add some water. And then I'm just going to keep washing the brush and keep adding water until I'm happy with how it looks. So that is a kind of very quick graded wash. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to feed in a bit of yellow. I'm going to use some lemon yellow. And I'm just picking it up straight from the tube onto my flat brush. And I'm just going to go across in little lines just to give it a bit of variety. And then I'm working it in a bit. I don't want it to be too bright up the end. The whole point is that it's receding, so it's sort of fading off. Just kind of connecting these trunks a little bit more, putting a little bit more into the sky. And then, I mean, this is going to be so quick, really, because the next thing we're going to do, we're just going to use the same vermilion that we just got and add lots of water, and then just kind of spread it around, sort of just plonk it around in the canopy. I want to fill this canopy with nice bright. And then we're going to do a lot of lifting out. So, because you don't want it to be too bright, because in terms of the perspective, it needs to, well, actually up the top, it's sort of a different matter, but you don't want it to be as bright as down here. Down here needs to be brighter so that you've got perspective happening with colour. And then I'm going to add some lemon yellow in, splashing it in, dabbing it in all over the place. And then down the bottom here, I want more yellow than vermilion. So I'm going to switch back to my round brush. And I'm going to make add lots and lots of water to my lemon yellow, and I'm just filling in. So it's going to be paler in those areas. So it's just where I've got a gap here, which I don't want. So I'm going to just add some more trunk, more tree trunk there. Okay, and then I'm going to do some lifting out. So with my cloth, kind of balling it up. Same with a tissue, you need to ball it up like that, and then just go around lifting out where I've put the vermilion, just to soften it and blur it and lift it off a bit. And then I'm going to go back in with my round brush and a little bit more. So I don't want any real lots of white. I want all the areas to be kind of some colour. So I'm probably going to go back in with a bit of lemon yellow as well, but just trying to get rid of the white areas. At the same time, you know, I want to lift it out as well to keep it subtle. And a bit of going back in with a bit of lemon yellow. The colours are getting quite orangey, sort of dark. Now you can kind of throw in some more wet colour where you see if there's any white bits that you want. You might like the white bits, or you might want to completely get rid of the white. You might leave a few bits of white, but I don't want too much of it. And then thinking about this hazy, so in the photograph it's green, and I think that might be quite nice to have it a bit green, so create differentiation. So I'm going to just, I've got a bit of green here where my Prussian blue is mixed in with my lemon yellow. I'm just going to pop that in, and then I'm going to lift it out so that it's really pale, and then do it again till I've got it how I want it to look. So once you've achieved that, you might then want to go back in to create a little bit more detail on the trunks. Maybe adding some bit more to the branches here and there. If there's an area where they've disappeared too much, they kind of don't make sense. Kind of adding bits here and there, but you see how the watercolor, it's like constantly changing, constantly moving around, and really creating some nice effects. And then, you know, you can always lift out again, kind of go back in, lift out. You know, here where this trunk kind of comes across, goes right across everything else. Just joining up those, you know, making it a little bit more joined up, and if certain areas don't make much sense, you can create a little bit more definition here and there. Sometimes it's just so nice to work really, really freely and with a you know, really big brush, and just have some fun with it. So I hope you enjoyed that demo. Let me turn the light off, it's a bit too bright. That's better. So there's your avenue of trees.